Welcome everybody. Hello, my name is Lana Shalom, and I'm welcoming you to the live drawing of the Pyramid of Consciousness. Pyramid of Consciousness is the foundation of the Neurographica method. Again, my name is Lana Shalom. I'm a certified Neurographic instructor and coach, and I'm here to tell you about the amazing, again, this was created by the same founder, the founder of the Neurographic method, by Dr. Pavel Piskaryov, PhD, PsyD. And I'm here to show you how we can draw the pyramid of consciousness, to explain to you the foundation of the pyramid of consciousness, and to explain to you how each step of the pyramid, each level of the pyramid relates to different advanced courses, something we call algorithms or modules in Neurographica, okay? Just in general, to explain to you, I'm gonna try to turn on. There are 9 types of, we're gonna go straight into it now. Actually, I'm gonna change my camera. I'm gonna put my camera in a way where you can see what I'm drawing. Those of you on Instagram, I'm going to put my camera up and you will also be able to see what I'm drawing. We're doing something absolutely amazing. We're going to draw the pyramid of consciousness, and I'm going to show you how the pyramid of consciousness is actually tied in to all the main algorithms within the Neurographica method, okay? While everybody's gathering, hello, welcome to say hello. I see your likes, welcome. Hello, Ellen, nice to see you, dear. Welcome to shout out hello to me. I'm glad to see everybody. And I want to know how you are doing. Welcome, Tony. Very glad to see everybody. Excellent. Now, I am going to transfer my camera right now. As again, many of you are gathering. I'm going to transfer my camera. I want to talk to you about what are the algorithms within the Neurographica method, and then how do we relate it to the pyramid of consciousness, okay? So if you want to follow me, we will need approximately, I would say, 3 papers today, okay? 3 pages we will need today, okay? So I want to give you first the sequence, okay? What are, those of you on Instagram, I'm going to put you up. Give me a second. Okay. Those of you on Instagram can see my paper. Wait, can we do this? Voila. Yes, this seems to be working. Both cameras now see me. Okay, excellent, even better. Excellent. So there are actually, this is so important to understand, there are actually, give me a second, let me put it up here. Okay, so I can see whether you see me, okay, while I'm drawing, okay. Okay, so this is important to understand. There are 10 main algorithms within the Neurographica methods, okay? The 10 main algorithms. I'm going to tell you about them, okay? The first algorithm is called, it's abbreviated as ARL, algorithm for removing limitations, okay? The next algorithm is called ARI, and it's an abbreviation for algorithm for revealing of intentions, okay? Both of these algorithms are a part of the main course, the initial course in the Neurographica method, something we refer to as the Neurographica Basics course, okay? So the Basics course introduces you to 2 main ways Hi, Faina. Welcome, welcome. To two main ways, okay? To two main ways to start bringing transformation into your life. We actually mentioned the two algorithms yesterday when I talked to you about the basics course, about what is it about, what brings it in, how does it work. And I mentioned the ARL and ARI. I will actually be going through each one of the algorithms through the next week and a half as I go through each algorithm one by one. I'm going to make a series of live sessions focusing on one algorithm at a time. Okay, so the first algorithm is the ARL, algorithm for removing limitations, and the algorithm for revealing of intentions are the two main algorithms, the two kind of initial way. This is how you get introduced to the Neurographica method within the basics course, okay? Afterwards, we start taking more courses, okay? Afterwards, we have the specialist course, right? The specialist course focuses on the professional development, okay? When you take this course, you can start bringing the ideas, you can start bringing the knowledge of Neurographica to other people. You can start making Neurographica presentations. You can start practicing all of the Neurographica method, all of the Neurographica algorithms with your clients. This is very important. And most importantly, you can actually do open sessions the way I do and start bringing 3 of the major Neurographica algorithms, which are NeuroTree, right? A very unique algorithm. NeuroLotus, right? And NeuroRain. Very unique, 3 unique algorithms. You can bring them into the open. You can actually openly teach them, okay? As a specialist, this is a very important. And then there are 3 more algorithms that you actually use with your client. They're not public. You cannot teach them in the open for a specific reason, because they're specifically coaching based algorithms, and the best way to use them would be with your clients, okay? Those algorithms are called True, okay? Score, and Quality of Life, okay? I actually talk more about them in a separate video that I did about 2 months ago, where I described the specialist course. But again, each one of the algorithm I will go in, I will make a separate session just to give you more understanding, okay? So this is the specialist course. Now, once you take the basics, once you take the specialist course, you start going further. You start going into something we call the advanced courses, the advanced algorithm, the advanced knowledge and practice of the Neurographica method. What are those algorithms, okay? It's neuro composition, okay? I will describe each one, okay? Just giving you a name now. Neuro color, neuro mandala, right? Another way to call it would be mandala. Neuro sketching, okay? I'm going to continue this way. I don't want to take a new paper. Neuro communication. Some people also refer to it as neuro connection and neuro contact, okay? It's the same algorithm, okay? There's a different way to translate it. Actually, Pavel himself, the first way it was introduced was the algorithm of communication. Then he changed it into neuro communication, neuro contact, neuro connection. So different instructors do use different names. I'm going to name it neuro communication because the main point of this algorithm is to communicate with others, and that's that will be the name that I'm bringing. Neuro communication. Then comes neurosynthesis, neuro goal, and neuro timeline. Okay, the way to bring time, the way you can organize time in a way that will fit your schedule. Okay, it's a very interesting way of doing it. It's not the other ways. It's not about fitting your schedule around the time, but rather a great and one of the most amazing algorithms where you fit the time around your schedule. Okay, now let's get back to this paper where I already draw, and I'm inviting you to do the same thing. Please draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Please draw. Let me see if you can see. Let me raise my camera so you can see my paper fully. Yep. Yep. And Instagram is good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. As a result, you will have 7 levels. Okay. Draw 6 straight lines. Okay. And then on top of it, please do me a favor. I'm going to show you how to draw the pyramid itself. Okay. Okay, the pyramid will go like this. Look. The top of the pyramid should be right here, a little bit above the highest line, the top line, okay? And then the rest we are bringing down like this. The sides are going down, and thus forming a triangle, which we refer to in this specific context as a pyramid. You can use a ruler. You don't have to use the ruler. I decided to use it this time. I want to make it more straight. Usually I never use rulers. I want to show you my previous pyramid pictures. Didn't use rulers, you know, like this. Absolutely fine. Okay, guys. Just preparing for a new course that I'm planning to bring, the neurostructuring course, and that course does have the use of the ruler. That's why I started using the ruler. So we're going to actually start from the top. Okay, we're going to start from the top. And I want to explain something to you before we start drawing. I want to bring you a certain concept here, the understanding of what the pyramid is about. What is it bringing? What is the knowledge within the pyramid that I'm trying to relate to, convey to you? It's interesting to start understanding that we are dealing here with the psychology field, within the field of psychology. Freud, Dr. Sigmund Freud, the father of modern psychology, was the first one who started saying that within a human life, we have 2 major forces, okay? One force is something we refer to, something that came from Greek mythology, right, called Eros. Eros is a desire to live, okay? Something we refer to also as life, okay? Eros is the way we kind of express the desire to live are through various actions that bring life. I mentioned life, love, creativity. When people are looking for life, for love, for creativity, sexuality, right? Self-satisfaction, right? Self-satisfaction, the need to bring satisfaction to oneself. This all has to procreation, right? Having children, forming families, or just plain having children. This all of these activities have one major goal, the desire to live, okay? Then we also have something we call thanatos, okay? Thanatos also comes from Greek mythology. It's a Greek word for death, okay? Usually, what happens during life, we are constantly torn between the desire to live and the avoiding death, okay? The whole time, a human being, any decision the human being makes, any values in life that the human being has, is choosing. Do I have a desire to live, choosing life, or avoiding death? Okay. What do we do? What are the stuff that we do, right? The stuff that we see around us that reminds us about death is aggression, sadism, right? Destruction, right? Violence, and of course, death itself, okay? In life, we're constantly torn between making or thinking or choosing between something that will represent life and something that will represent the negative, something that we refer to, and this is important. I'm going to put it in circles. That will make sense when we do the pyramid. In the circle for life, desire to live will be the pluses. This will give us positivity. We choose resources, we choose actions that brings positivity, gives pluses in our life, or we see minuses. We see the resources going away, something that takes away our resources. I think now more than ever, we can relate to it when we see what's happening in the world, right? We're constantly bombarded. I usually don't ever watch the news, but because this what's happening now is so close to where I'm from, you know, people I know who live in different parts of in different parts of the world. You are constantly bombarded by news, which take away your resources. So that's negative. And then you constantly want to do stuff, right? A lot of people react differently to stressful situations. They eat. Eating, by the way, is choosing of life, right? Eating is replenishing your body, allowing your body to go on, allowing your body to live, right? That's eating, right? People eat, people may choose to drink, right? This, by the way, the desire to live is how a lot of when people don't have enough resources, when they have so many minuses and they don't know what to do, that's how addictions come. And that's something also to keep in mind. Okay, give me a second. My Facebook seems stuck. Me too. Okay, there you go. Okay. So the way we're going to do, I'm going to show you the pyramid. And I will show you how you can practically work with it. I will show you how when we have a stressful situation or we have something traumatic, we're looking for resources. And the way to do resources is that you can take the minus can easily be turned into a plus. This is the most important thing to remember, okay? We'll take minus and we can turn it into a plus by adding, and the way we do it is by adding some kind of a resource and then turn the minus, adding a line, and this will turn into a plus. And that will mean that we constantly are looking to bring the balance within life, tip it over into the positive resourcefulness, and not allow, as much as we have stress and, you know, hearing the news and everything that's happening, constantly do something that would be resourceful, that will turn the minus into a plus. Okay, let's go into the actual drawing. Okay, I'm going to go step by step. We're going to start on the top. We're going to start with something that in the pyramid of consciousness we refer to. This is called actual consciousness. Okay, actual consciousness. The first two levels of the pyramid, okay, is something we deal with that's conscious, okay? This is what's happening when we are aware of what's happening. Actual consciousness is what is taking your attention. Where is your focus? What are you looking at? What are you reading? What are you eating? What are you drawing? What are you doing this specific moment? What's catching your attention? If you're watching the video, then your actual consciousness now is in Facebook or Instagram, wherever you are. Okay, if you're watching and recording, it's on YouTube. That's your focus, your attention. Okay. The second part of our consciousness is called operational consciousness. Operational consciousness. What are you doing? If you are watching it, when your actual consciousness, you are watching me draw. Your operational consciousness is taking a marker and following me. drawing the same thing, also drawing the triangle and then writing the words, okay? When you want to add resources to your actual consciousness or active consciousness, it's also known as active, because we're active, we're aware, we're focused, okay? Now, when you're sleeping, for example, your active consciousness is actually diminished because you're sleeping, right? You're not paying attention to anything. But then we also have something we call dreaming, right? So that's a different side of it. But a person is constantly connected. Once you open up your eyes in the morning, you are involved in the world around you. You can see something is touching you, something is bothering you. You connect to your body, you connect to your mind, you connect to your emotions, right? If your child comes to kiss you and say good morning, you connect to your emotions. When you turn around or you put your hands to say a morning mantra or a morning prayer, your hands are connected physically. You start physically connecting to your body, okay? And it's interesting to note, if you remember the algorithms that I brought to you, that I wrote down for you, the first two algorithms that we deal with, the ARL and the ARI, are the algorithms that bring us to our active consciousness. You start looking around and you start thinking, where am I? What is happening to me? So the ARL and the ARI are the algorithms that we deal with on the first two levels. Okay, ARL, ARI, okay. Okay, ARL is where we draw catharsis, when we try to figure out what's holding me back. What are the blocks that I'm having in my life to reach my goal? Okay, that's the actual consciousness in ARL and ARI. ARI is the algorithm for revealing of the intention, is when we start drawing the neural lines for trying to reveal, figure out operational consciousness. What am I doing to reach my goal? How do I reach my goal? Operational is, I'll give you another allegory. If I want to drink, that's my actual active consciousness, because my focus is on the fact that my body requires something to drink, okay? My operational consciousness would be taking a bottle of water that's next to me and bringing it, opening up, bring it to my mouth and do the actual action of drinking and replenishing, taking care of my thirst, taking care of my body, okay? Now, this is important to note. This one, so you guys see what I'm doing. Those two levels, the most interesting thing I want to tell you, those two levels are what makes our consciousness, the conscious part of our mind. The rest of it on the bottom will go into our subconscious and then into our full unconscious part, okay? So our subconscious actually consists of the following. Our subconscious has two parts. Okay, look, I'm going to put it this way so you can see. This is subconscious, okay? Our subconscious. Subconscious has two parts, okay? It has individual subconscious. The first two levels will be individual subconscious, and the next two levels will be collective. Okay, collective is the way Jung characterized something we can easily refer to as something like a group subconscious. Okay. Now, let's figure out what is the first level. As we finish with our conscious, keep in mind, our active conscious only takes 10 to 15% of our mind. Can you believe that? What we pay attention, the way we act in life, the way what we think, what we focus on, and again, the way we act toward it is only 10 to 15% of our mind. The rest of it is subconscious, and then we have some unconscious part over here, totally unconscious, okay? Now, the subconscious part consists of two ways, okay? Individual, okay? There's individual, and there is, again, I'm going to refer to it the way the original name, the way Jung characterized it, or that it would be maybe more comfortable to name it group subconscious, but it's not group, it's called collective, because it's collected over time, over centuries, over generations, okay? Individual subconscious is something we refer to within the individual subconscious. We have two parts. The first part is what is happening with me now, my life now, okay? My current life. Okay, meaning from the time I was born, okay, we're gonna go with Stanislav Grove's explanation. From the time my mother was pregnant with me, right? To where I am right now, okay? And then, 1 second. Okay, my current life, okay, the way I was born, and that goes down, okay? Let's say on the top level would be something that's happening with me now, this year, or maybe the last 5 years, okay? Something that I can easily remember, okay? Now, if you ask me what happened to me in my early childhood, I may have a hard time because I don't remember it as much, right? I may have more recollection of what's happening with me now, what's happening with me within my you know, for the past 10 years, maybe 20 years, my having children, taking care of children, growing up, right? And if you ask me about my early childhood, I will be like, I remember something, but they're not going to be as vivid, okay? But they all make a part of what we refer to as individual subconscious. Now, when we learn, when we draw Neurographica, this is the level when we start conjoining, when we start doing the rounding out, when we bring harmony to my life, okay? The best module, the best way to learn how to bring harmony within the Neurographica method is to take the course called Neuro Mandala, okay? Neuro Mandala is the study of the circle. Is the study of how we can use the shape of the circle to bring harmony, to bring care, to bring comfort in life. If you remember when I did the day before yesterday, the open session, I actually showed you that one of the best way to bring harmony, to bring release of certain, you know, stress in your life is to draw circles. The Neuro Mandala course, actually brings 6 to 7 individual algorithms, individual ways to draw the circle with various ways in different sequence, and to show how to bring transformation in your life through the power of the circle. Again, the day before yesterday, I actually posted 2 of the videos that I did that are called the circles of happiness. They actually focus on how to draw circles so that it will bring you care. Again, it will bring happiness. It will bring you know, peace, tranquility into your life. Okay, Neuromandal is an amazing way how to do that. Okay, so when we bring harmony, when we do the rounding, we start bringing harmony into our life, and then we start going into the integrating. Integration involves connecting to the environment, connecting to our society, seeing what's around me, who are the friends around me, what, you know, where do I live, you know, what city, what country, right? People are becoming more aware nowadays. What country do they belong to, right? Who are their government? What does their government represent, okay? And that's how we go seamlessly from individual subconscious into something we call collective subconscious, okay? Within the collective subconscious, we connect to something we call egregors, okay? Egregors are actually a collection, like a collective pool of energy, something like government is an example of egregors, because a government, you know, is kind of representative of what the country, the energy of the people, right, decides. And sometimes in what, let's say, what's happening in the world now, right, in cases like this, people will either agree with what the government represents, and this way they say, yes, we belong to this egregor, or if the government does something they don't agree with, right, they change the government, or there are, you know, that's how revolutions happen in life, they overthrow the coup, that's when they say there is an egregor and we don't agree with it. Okay, that's how, let's say, the Russian Revolution that happened 100 years ago, that's what happened. They said, we don't agree with the government, we don't agree with the representation. Another way to say was, we don't agree with this huge pool of you know, this representation, the egregor. We don't agree with the egregor. We all belong to certain egregors, okay? If you wear a certain, let's say, brand, right? I don't know if you like to wear Dolce & Gabbana, any brand, guys, any brand you belong to. If you shop in a certain store, let's say in the USA, if you go to certain like supermarkets, like if you go to Walmart, right, which is like a chain of huge hypermarkets in the USA, for example, you belong to certain egregor because you agree with what the store represents, you buy your items there, right? You spend your money there, you give your energy, money is an energy that you give to that egregor, and then you also receive back from the egregor. You are connecting with the egregor, okay? In this specific, in this level of the collective subconscious is where we like to bring in the module, the study in Neurographica that we refer to as neuro communications. Who do you choose to communicate with? Who do you choose to exchange your energy with? Okay. The friends, who are your friends, right? You know, the famous saying, show me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. So same thing here. Who are your friends? When you look around and when you look at the friends that you have, then you start understanding that you belong to a certain egregor, right? You belong to a certain group of people who have certain beliefs, right? Who have certain values, right? Values are very important, right? Community, which community you belong to. It could be a city. It could be based on where you live geographically. It could be also based on, let's say, religious belief, right? People based on their religious go to certain community centers, right? And that's also an egregor, a place or a way to exchange information or energy with each other. Now, it's interesting to know why I mentioned it used to be location-based. Nowadays, with the use of internet, we can have egregors without necessarily geographically locating, right? Let's say if I am, when I exchange with people, talk to somebody about neurographic, let's say when I'm doing this open session about the Neurographica method, and you are from a different geographical locations, right? You're not next to me physically, but we still belong to this egregor called the method of Neurographica, and we exchange information, we exchange energy, right? I give you the knowledge and you send me some kind of energy. I would love to hear your feedback. That would be a great way we exchange energy. That would be a great way I get something back, right? For the energy that I invest in doing this session, right? We all belong to certain egregors. And those egregors are A, conscious, meaning we make a conscious choice to, let's say, learn about the method of Neurographica and start belonging to this egregor. Or we also make unconscious choices about egregors. Unconscious or subconscious choices we make about egregors are something we're born into, right? The family you belong to is not something you usually, okay, of course, each soul chooses their family, chooses their parents, but it's done on such a subconscious level that it's not a conscious choice, okay? You can't just get up and say, okay, I don't belong to this family anymore. Okay, according to the laws of constellations of family systems, whatever you're born into, that's where you stay, okay? So certain egregors we belong to, we choose, and in certain egregors we don't necessarily choose, but we happen to belong there. okay? And we can make transformations, the egregors that you belong to, like your family system, your ancestry, right? The constellation work that Bert Hellinger came up with, created. You can bring transformations within those egregors, okay? So one way or another, you can do stuff, okay? Now, talking about family, we're going deeper into our collective subconscious, and we're going further into something we call archetypes, okay? Archetypes is where we start figuring out, how do I feel about the world? What is the world, right? The first thing the human being ever sees, any baby is born, what is the first thing the baby sees, the first person at least? It should be, right? Hopefully it is. In most cases nowadays, they're more concerned, they're more careful to make sure that the newborn baby is given to the mother and they form the connection. The archetype of the mother is one of the strongest archetypes in our world. An archetype is the way, is a general, is an idea, any idea in life, we will have an opinion. If I tell you, can you tell me when I say the word mother, what comes to your mind? Okay, you can come, the general idea that the mother is, okay, general idea, a female figure who takes care of her children. That's a general archetype. Now, each person specifically, each individual will have their own individual archetypes of what the mother is, right? A person can say nowadays, right, in many societies, a mother can be a male or a female or a male character, right? Gender, right? In many societies, right? Many people, many individuals will say, well, the mother archetype to me is somebody who is very disciplinarian, who puts boundaries for her children. She makes sure her children doesn't do anything wrong. She constantly explains to her children how not to do something wrong, right? Many people grew up with people who, whose parents were very, discipline oriented. And some people would say my mother archetype is somebody who is loving and care. She constantly cooks for me, no matter what I tell her. Mom, I'm having this issue or that issue. She will say, come, dear, come, I'll feed you. So the mother archetype is associated with food, with eating, right? I'm just giving you examples. Honestly, there's so many different ways people interpret archetypes on an individual level, is as many as the amount of people we have in the world, right? Each one will have their own unique interpretation of what the mother archetypes or any other archetypes, any other general idea, right? What if I say the word father? What if I say the word closing or house? If I say, can you tell me when I tell you the word house, what do you think about it? What are the images that come to your mind? Each one of you, most of you will have a general, the same thing. A house is a place that has 4 walls, has a roof, has a floor, and has a door and windows. That's a general archetype, a general idea of what a house is. But each one of you will have specific ways you relate to your idea of what the house is. Where is it located? Geographical location, the weather, geographically, is it east, is it west, is it south, is it north? Okay, each one of you will have your own association where you belong to. Okay, when we deal with archetypes, the best way to figure out this level of your subconscious will be to work with something we call neurosynthesis. Okay, neurosynthesis is the way we figure out who we are in the world within the 4 aspects of who we are: the body, the emotions, the mind, the thought, and the soul. Okay, we talk about it a lot in the neurosynthesis course. I do want to mention all of those courses are on special discount sale currently by myself within my group, World of Neurographica. Please welcome to join the group. Please welcome to look at the courses at the special discount prices we're having right now, unprecedented low prices. And if you actually want to buy all 9 or 8 or 9 or 10 courses and become fully proficient in the Neurographica method, you get a very special price. You get over a $500 discount. Okay, So that's what it is. Neurosynthesis, going back, okay? Afterwards, as we dwell deeper, we're going and we pass the two levels of the subconscious, the individual and the collective. We go into the very depths of our consciousness, of our mind. I'm not going to call it conscious because this is called actually unconscious, okay? This is something we will have a very hard time remembering within the conventional memory. Sometimes you may reach this level within such methods as, let's say, hypnosis. But even then, most of the time you're not able to reach this level. This level is beyond reach, okay? This level is beyond any way. If subconscious can be reached within the hypnosis level, because sometimes when people do hypnosis, they do go into previous lifetimes, into their collective unconscious and subconscious, into their family, into their ancestry, again, previous lifetimes, right? Previous life experience, right? And that's going into egregors and archetypes, okay? Because when we connect to archetypes, we really connect to what is the general idea within the collective unconscious, subconscious of my family system, of my ancestry, okay? This level specifically consists of the way the human life is formed, okay? The way the human life is formed. This level consists of how the universe consists. This level consists of something we refer to as the 5 elements, okay? The 5 elements is a general, it's like the beginning, how the world was created, right? The way the elements, okay? In Neurographica method, we use a 5-element system, not the 4. I know the most spread one, the widespread understanding of the elements are the 4 elements, right? In Neurographica, we use Wuxing system of the 5 elements, and those elements are, they usually actually go in a circle, but I'm going to put it like this: the elements of the wood, right? It's also known as the element of the tree or the wind, right? The element of fire, the element of earth, okay? The element of metal, right? There's that 5th element that people in the conventional elements, there are 4, but there is also a metal one that we'll keep in mind. And then there is also water, of course, okay? Earth also when we talk about the earth element, it's also the element of air, okay? But no, actually no, element air belongs to the wind, okay? And the way those elements that stay at the forefront at the creation of the world and also the creation of the human being, okay? Those elements are within our unconscious. Those elements are kind of the core of who we are as human beings in general, okay? When we need to transform ourselves, when we need to find out who we are, we need to go through all of these layers. And within the conventional psychology or just most of the transformational practices will take you through the active consciousness, operational consciousness, will take you into your individual subconscious, right? You can go and deal with early childhood. When you go to conventional psychologists, by the way, you deal with your early childhood, right? You go into, psychotherapy deals, tell me about your childhood traumas and all that stuff. Coaching, the field of coaching that went further than the psychology world, right? Focusing again on the individual subconscious. Maybe going within the world of coaching, we may go into the egregors, right? Which is what NLP is all about. The neuro-linguistic processing is going deeper, going into collective subconscious, going into archetypes, right? Dr. Jung, right? Carl Gustav Jung was the first one who started bringing this idea. By the way, the pyramid of consciousness is primarily based upon the idea of the consciousness, the first explanation or the theory of consciousness that Jung brought, right? Jung created the analytical psychology. The method of Neurographica is based a lot, the foundation is upon Jungian psychology. So we have a lot of Jungian terms, a lot of Jungian ideas. The idea of egregors, of archetypes were originally discovered and brought in by Jung, Okay, so that's something we deal with. Now, it's interesting to know that when we go, most of the time, very rarely, right? Unless people go into very deep meditation, very, very deep meditation, like Vipassana retreats, silent meditations, where people actually go in silent for many days and thus disconnecting themselves from the active consciousness, operational consciousness, right? When they sit and just meditate quietly and just allow the thoughts to go through, pay attention to their breathing, connect to their body, they can go into something, we have something called unconsciousness. I myself personally went through that experience. It's one of the most, really transformational experiences of my life. It does bring you to a certain level of enlightenment, does bring you to a certain level of seeing the world differently, seeing people differently, seeing energies differently, the auras of people. If you want to learn more about the elements, learning who you are on the original level as a humankind, as a human being, as a universe, relating to the universe as the universe, something we call neurocolor. Okay, in neurocolor course, we actually learn colors through the 5 elements. The elements are connected to the color because each color brings certain energy to the world, right? I'm just going to give you a loose, just quickly want to show you which color belongs to what. Red or orange, fire is red or orange, right? Okay, the color of the earth are, usually the color of the earth are more yellowish, right? Yellow, and of course brown, right? Brown is the color of earth, grounding. This is what we learn in details actually during the, I keep it black, yellow, I don't have my brown marker near me. The color of metal is silver or gold, or the bronze is also the color of metal, okay? Structure. And of course, the color of water is blue. I like to use a lot of blue within my drawing. That's my resource, right? I personally practice also the amazing study of the Badzi. Badzi is the individual study of what are your elements, your birth elements, what elements you were born with, what elements do you need at each part of your, at each section of your life, within your year, each year of your life, each month, each day even. And it's an amazing, amazing system. Something I'm actually developing, hoping to bring it into the, into a connection with Neurographica, creating a Badzi Neurographica course. So Neurocolor is a great way to get to know the elements and start understanding how do you bring elements within your life to reach a certain goal, right? Whenever you want to reach a goal, you start looking, what do I have? Okay, this is what I was explaining yesterday, actually, at the basics course, right? Within every time we make a goal, there are 2 questions we figure out. What do I want? I want, right? My desire, remember desire, the connection to life, choosing life. What do I want? And after you tell me what you want, let's say buy a house, just a very general example, right? Buy a house. I'm going to ask you, where are you now? We constantly go back and forth between these 2 questions. Where am I now? And now you say, if you want to buy a house, then you probably either A, don't have a house, or you have a house, but you want to buy another house, right? Meaning we are constantly, what do I want is always the future. But we need to come back into the present to figure out, where am I now, right? Let's say now I'm renting, just an example, right? So you make a strategy. What are your steps, right? What are the steps you need to take to bring you to your goal, to your future? Because your future consists of the fact that you want to own a house. Maybe it's not buy a house. Look, I'm actually thinking it's owning a house, right? You don't have to buy a house to own a house, right? That's something, going deeper into how to figure out what your goal is. It comes from my psychology of money trainer background, okay? But when we come, now, when I ask you what is the goal actually comes here, right? When we start, active consciousness is looking around and saying, what do I want? Remember how I gave you an allegory of the water? First I said, what do I want? And I realized I'm thirsty. And then I start thinking, what can I do about bringing my goal to realization? Okay, and that's how we start figuring out. We start going through each layer, right? The water example is very simple because the bottle is right next to me now. What if I say, I want hot water, I want tea? That gets a bit more complicated. You know why? Because I actually have to get up, go to the kitchen, get a cup. You know, I have a hot urn, right? Actually turn or open the water, put it in the cup, bring it here or drink it there, but bring it to my mouth and actually wait for the water to cool down. Do you see the sequence of steps it takes? And whether I decide to do it or not has to do with my individual subconscious. I may think, I'm not going to do it now. I'm in the middle of the session. I can't just get up and go get hot water and drink tea while I'm leading a session, right? So I'm focusing, pay attention to where your focus is. What's holding you back from achieving your results, okay? If you want to start bringing harmony to each level, you can start doing what I explained at the beginning. Draw a lot of circles, right? Start thinking about your topic. By the way, when you talk about the topic, the way we deal with the goal, the way we set a goal is something we call a neuro goal session. If you want to learn, how do you approach something like setting a goal, like reaching a goal, like making a strategy to get from where you are to where you want to be? That's called a neuro goal. Okay. And as you're going through each level, start adding circles and start thinking everything positive that comes to your mind. When you think about your topic at each level, you add either a plus or a minus. And then you look, if you have a lot of minuses, start thinking, what can I do to change those minuses into a plus? What can I do to bring resources to make those circles, to make that level more resourceful? And you start realizing that maybe I can start taking more care about myself. I can start loving myself more. I can start saying, you know, if I really want hot tea, there are ways to do it. I can either do it, you know, prepare the hot tea before the session, or tell myself it's okay. Talk to my inner child and say, it's okay. I understand that you want hot tea. I will give it to you as soon as I finish the session. Meaning acknowledge the desire, acknowledge the yearning, and deal with it. And that will give you comfort and care to your inner child. And then you turn the minus into a plus. You can do this. That's something you're going to do on your own because I'm finishing up now. I gave you the major understanding, and the rest of it you can do yourself. Add circles to each layer of your life, to each layer of your consciousness. Talking about the algorithm, the courses, okay? If you want to learn how to strategize, how to figure out where you want to go, how to bring strategy and structure into your life, and that could be individual subconscious as well as actually operational consciousness, I would suggest the neuro composition course, okay? I will actually take my time. For the next 10 sessions, I will go into one of each, maybe even more. Each one of the algorithm, I will make a separate open live session so you can learn more, you can understand more. Do you need to take this module? What is the reason to take the module, okay? What are you expecting? So they can work with your expectations, okay? So the neurocomposition course can be taken to work on your subconscious, individual subconscious, on your active and operational subconscious. Neurocolor is the way the world operates, the way the energy in the world, the way we exchange energy with different entities or even with ourselves, or the way we form relationships with different people would be the neurocolor course, where we learn about the colors and the elements. And also the neurocommunication would be a great way to start communicating and understanding what who am I and what am I with other people, and again with other entities like my business, my house, and so on and so forth. Neurosynthesis is connecting all four parts of who you are together. Now, there's something in the course called neurosketching. I would suggest the neurosketching would be somewhere over here within the subconscious level, between individual and collective subconscious, because neurosketching is making sense. I would actually say archetypes, making sense of archetypes. Because in neurosketching, we can use, or different neurosketching actually, by the way, deals with, we learn different types of neural lines, okay? So that does belong to egregors and archetypes, because this is where we start learning how to form relationship with others. What kind of a neural line do I bring? There are 5 types of neural lines you can draw. That's right. At the basics level, we learn how to draw the neural line. But if you want to learn specifically what kind of neural line, there are 5 types, and they relate to the 5 brain waves, the 5 types of a brain wavelength. And we learn and we practice how to bring various archetypes around us to life. We also look at such archetypes as famous paintings, okay? Take any painting, any of your favorite paintings, right? I'm going to take the general one, the most famous one of the most famous one, at least, the Mona Lisa, right? You can take the Mona Lisa and start neuro sketching it. We explain how to do that in the class, in the course, and that will bring you a different realization and a different connection to this archetype of Mona Lisa, right? What is Mona Lisa to you? If I ask you, some people may say it's a famous drawing. Some people may say Leonardo da Vinci. Some people may say it's a mother. It's a female icon, right? A female figure. So many ways to relate to it. When you start using the neurosketching method, it's a great way to bring connection between who you are and certain archetypes in your life, okay? Neurocommunication, like I mentioned, a great way to learn to communicate with others. Neurosynthesis, I mentioned. Neurogoal is the way we set the goal. Now, the most advanced course within the Neurographica method is something we refer to as neurotimeline, okay? Neurotimeline is the learning of how we can use time. I mentioned that before, how we can use, not put my schedule around the time, but rather the opposite. You bring the time around my schedule. And I'm going to put it as a way that the way we go into the past, in the present, and in the future. That's neuro timeline. It's a great, great way to learn the secrets of the time, the secret of how to expand time. Is that even possible? If I tell you that it is, you may think, oh boy, this sounds like, it's one of those magical or some kind of unconventional, unrealistic courses. But I want to tell you, it's as realistic as every other Neurographica course. Very realistic, very grounding, very strategic, so much strategy within that course. Neuro timeline is how to learn how to move seamlessly when you go into the past to figure out what you needed, what's holding you back, where are you in the present, and how do you go into the future. Okay, Neuro timeline is the last advanced course, because in order to do the Neuro timeline, you really need to have the knowledge that we cover in all the previous courses. Okay, that we cover in the neurocomposition, the structure, how to bring structure and strategy in your life, neurocolor, how the elements, what is the kind of the basis of life on Earth, the basis of life in the universe, I may even say. Neuromandala, the circle, the planet, again, the universe, right? Even planets are circular shaped. Think about that. The magic of the circle. How do I bring the circle into my life? Neurosketching is relating to your archetypes. Neurocommunication is connecting to various either people or entities in your life. Neurosynthesis is to connect of who you are, all 4 parts of who you are together. So you work together. So you're not trying to jump from being in your body straight into your soul, back and forth. But you keep in mind that we also have emotions in the mind, and make sure that none of them are are, constantly, all four of them are constantly balanced and have harmony with each other. Okay. Neuro goal is how to set a goal, whether it's in the beginning of your session or at the end. Remember, the 7 steps of the algorithm is about goal or topic 2.0. Okay. How do you keep your goal constantly in front of you? Okay. And then we have the neuro timeline. The neuro timeline is, again, how do we use such universal thing as time to benefit us, to bring individuality to my personal life. Okay. I will, like I said, go now for the rest of the next 10 sessions, maybe more, because I'm also going to include all of the algorithms of the specialist course. I will go into each algorithm. Please join me. Please welcome to write your feedback on this video in Facebook. Let me know that you're watching. Let me know that you are interested in seeing more videos. If you're watching this in recording on YouTube, please feel free to give me a feedback. Let me know how you enjoyed it. If there are other topics you would like me to explore, I would love to share that with you. I love everything Neurographica, right? Everything about the method I'm here to share with you. And of course, join me for other sessions that I will be doing in the future. Tomorrow, actually, Friday, March 4th. Please join me to bring, let's discuss the ARL method, the ARL algorithm for removing limitations. I'm going to give you some inside information about the algorithm and explain to you what makes it so powerful and transformational. Okay. If you are interested in registering for any of the course, please feel free to PM me. I will send you all the information. You can also find the information. Thank you, Tony. I was so glad to have you here. Thank you for your feedback. Glad to hear that. Welcome to join the group, The World of Neurographica, and the prices for all the modules, all the algorithms, the deep advanced courses are in the very top. Okay, they're in the future posts, they're in the pin post, so you'll find it there. Or again, PM me if you have any questions, any concerns, anything you want to discuss with me, anything specific. If you want to take a certain course and you want to know whether it's something you need or not, let me know. I will be happy to answer your questions. If you want to join the basics course, it started yesterday. There's still time to join till next session. You can watch a video and catch up and continue at the next live session. And of course, with all of the courses, once you register, you get the recordings of all the previous cohorts, and I realize there's also Instagram. And you have access to the live sessions of all the future live sessions. Okay, that happens too. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for your feedback. I was glad to have you here. Enjoy the rest of your day or maybe night where you are, and bringing a big shout out. Please, let's have peace in the world. Okay. Goodbye, everybody. Enjoy your